Not everyone deserves your help. 9 types of people you should avoid helping in old age. As we grow older, we naturally develop a stronger inclination to help others. Whether it's sharing life experiences, providing financial support, or simply lending an ear, our years of accumulated wisdom and empathy often make us more willing to extend a helping hand. However, a harsh reality comes with age. Not everyone deserves your help. Some people only reach out when they need something, but disappear when you're in need. Others don't genuinely seek help to improve their lives. They just want to exploit you as an endless resource, whether it's money, time, emotional support, or even just a person to dump their problems on. Helping others is a noble act, but it's crucial to help the right people. Your kindness should not be taken for granted, and your empathy should not come at the cost of your peace and well-being. As you enter your golden years, it's essential to recognize the types of people you should stop helping. 1. The opportunist only comes to you when they need something. Opportunists are individuals who only remember your existence when they need something, whether it's money, favors, emotional support, or connections. They could be distant relatives, so-called friends, or even neighbors who only reach out when they have a problem to solve. When everything in their life is smooth, they are too busy to check on you. But the moment they hit a rough patch, they come knocking, expecting you to step in and offer assistance without hesitation. These people are not genuinely interested in your well-being or maintaining a meaningful relationship with you. They see you as a resource rather than a person, a source of financial aid, emotional support, or practical help whenever they are in need. They are highly skilled at playing the role of a caring friend or family member when they need assistance. But once they get what they want, they vanish without a trace. Example, imagine a nephew who rarely visits or even calls to check on you. However, whenever he needs money, he suddenly becomes affectionate and concerned about your well-being. He comes over, brings small gifts, and engages in warm conversations. However, before the visit ends, he subtly brings up his financial troubles and asks if you can help him out just this once. If you agree, he thanks you and disappears again until the next time he needs something. However, when you need help, whether it's moving heavy furniture, fixing something at home, or simply having someone to talk to, he is always too busy or doesn't even respond. How to handle them? To protect yourself from opportunists, it is crucial to set firm boundaries. If someone only reaches out when they need something, recognize the pattern and stop allowing them to take advantage of your kindness. The best response is a firm but polite refusal, such as, "I'm sorry, but I can't help this time. I have my own responsibilities to take care of." You don't owe anyone an explanation for saying no. If they truly valued your relationship, they would make an effort to be present in your life even when they don't need anything. Genuine relationships should be based on mutual care and respect, not one-sided convenience. If you notice someone treating you like an ATM or a problem solver instead of a real person, it's time to distance yourself. Your kindness should be appreciated, not exploited. 2. The emotional manipulator makes you feel guilty for not helping. Some people do not directly ask for help, but they skillfully manipulate your emotions to make you feel obligated to step in. They constantly share their struggles, framing themselves as helpless victims of circumstance. Their words and behavior are designed to trigger guilt, pushing you to offer assistance before they even ask. Signs of emotional manipulation. They frequently use self-pitying statements such as, "Oh, I guess I'm just not important to anyone. Oh, no one ever cares about me. Oh, I always have to deal with everything alone." They often compare themselves to others, saying things like, "Oh, other people have family members who help them, but I guess I don't deserve that." If you don't offer assistance, they act hurt, disappointed, or distant, making you feel like you've done something wrong. They refuse to take responsibility for their situation and expect others to rescue them. Example, imagine you have a distant cousin who frequently calls you, not to catch up, but to unload their financial struggles. They never directly ask for money, but their words are carefully chosen to make you feel guilty for not offering. They might say things like, I've been struggling to pay my bills, but I don't want to bother anyone with my problems. I know times are tough for everyone, and I hate asking for help, but I don't know what to do anymore. Each conversation feels emotionally draining, and even though you weren't planning to help, you find yourself reaching for your wallet just to ease the discomfort. But the moment you need help, whether it's a favor or just emotional support, this cousin is suddenly too busy, indifferent, or unavailable. Over time, you realize that their relationship with you is one-sided. They take, but they never give. How to handle them? 1. Recognize the manipulation. If someone constantly makes you feel guilty, step back and analyze the situation objectively. Are they genuinely in need, or are they just playing on your emotions? 2. Don't offer help immediately. Instead of rushing to solve their problems, respond with neutral support like, "Oh, that sounds really tough. What do you plan to do about it? Oh, I hope things get better for you. Have you looked into any solutions?" 3. Set emotional boundaries. You are not responsible for fixing everyone's problems, especially when they don't make an effort to improve their situation. 4. Limit contact if necessary. If someone constantly drains your energy with emotional manipulation, consider reducing interactions or setting clear limits on your availability. Helping others is a noble act, but genuine support should come from a place of kindness, not guilt. You are not a savior, and you do not owe anyone unlimited emotional labor. 3. The financially irresponsible never learns from their mistakes. Some people seem to always be in financial trouble, yet they never take responsibility for their situation. Instead of learning from their mistakes, they continue to spend recklessly, make poor financial decisions, and rely on others to bail them out. No matter how many times they promise to change, they always end up in the same cycle of debt and irresponsibility. These individuals often have a pattern of borrowing money and never repaying it. They make excuses like, "I'll pay you back next month," or "this is just a temporary setback," but in reality, they never take concrete steps to improve their financial habits. They live beyond their means, spending on unnecessary luxuries while expecting others, especially family members, to provide financial support whenever they run out of money. Example: imagine a grown son who has a stable job but refuses to budget properly. Instead of saving, he spends his entire paycheck on expensive gadgets, brand-name clothes, and frequent vacations. When his credit card bills pile up, he turns to his parents, asking for a loan with promises to pay it back soon. However, as time goes on, he continues the same behavior, never making an effort to cut back on unnecessary expenses or build financial independence. At first, his parents feel obligated to help. After all, he is their son, and they don't want to see him struggle. But as the years pass, they realize that every time they help him, he becomes even more dependent on their support. Their retirement savings start to dwindle, and instead of enjoying their later years, they find themselves constantly worrying about their son's financial irresponsibility. How to handle them? If someone repeatedly mismanages their finances, giving them money will only reinforce their bad habits. Instead of providing financial aid, consider these approaches. Stop being their safety net. If they know they can always rely on you, they will never feel the urgency to change their behavior. Offer financial advice instead of money. Encourage them to create a budget, track their expenses, and find ways to live within their means. Set firm boundaries. If they ask for money, respond with, "I need to prioritize my own financial future. You should learn to manage your finances better." Ultimately, helping someone doesn't mean enabling them. Sometimes, the best way to help a financially irresponsible person is to let them face the consequences of their actions. 4. The one who ignores your advice, asks for help, but never listens. There are people who repeatedly seek advice, but never actually follow it. They come to you when things go wrong, eager to hear your guidance. But instead of implementing your suggestions, they do the complete opposite, only to return later, complaining about the consequences. At first, you may feel honored that they trust you enough to ask for advice. But over time, you realize that these individuals aren't really looking for wisdom. They just want someone to validate their poor decisions. No matter how sound or practical your guidance is, they continue making the same mistakes, expecting you to rescue them each time. Example: imagine a younger relative who frequently asks for financial advice. You patiently explain the importance of budgeting, saving, and making smart investments. You even provide simple steps they can follow. Instead of heeding your advice, they recklessly spend their money, chase get-rich-quick schemes, or make impulsive investments in unverified businesses. Months later, they return to you, lamenting their financial losses and asking for more advice. You remind them of your earlier recommendations, but they dismiss it, saying things like, "Yeah, but my situation is different," or "I thought this time would be different." Soon enough, the cycle repeats. They ask, ignore, suffer, and complain, but never truly learn. Why this is harmful? It wastes your time and energy on someone who doesn't value your wisdom. It frustrates you, making you feel unheard and unappreciated. It prevents them from taking responsibility for their own choices. How to handle them? 1. Stop offering unsolicited advice. If they repeatedly ignore your guidance, let them handle their mistakes on their own. 2. Politely remind them of past conversations. The next time they seek your help, say, "I've already shared my thoughts before, and it seems like you prefer another approach." 3. Encourage them to take responsibility. Instead of offering new advice, ask, "What do you think went wrong last time? What will you do differently?" By setting boundaries, you protect your own peace while giving them the opportunity to truly learn from their experiences. After all, some lessons can only be understood through personal failure, not repeated warnings. 5. The perpetual victim always blames others for their problems. Some people go through life with a victim mentality, constantly feeling that the world is against them. No matter what happens, they refuse to take responsibility for their own actions and instead blame external factors, whether it's their family, society, bad luck, or even fate. They believe that life has been unfair to them, and instead of trying to change their circumstances, they simply complain and wait for others to step in and rescue them. Characteristics of a perpetual victim: they always have a negative outlook on life, believing that no matter what they do, things will never get better. When given practical advice, they immediately reject it with excuses like, "Oh, it's too late for me to change." "Oh, you don't understand my situation." "Oh, I've already tried everything and nothing works." They expect sympathy and support, but they don't take action to fix their problems. They often make others feel guilty for not helping them. Example scenario: imagine you have an old friend who constantly talks about how unfair life has been. Every time you meet, they complain about their financial struggles, their health issues, or how people have treated them badly. You genuinely want to help, so you offer suggestions like, "Maybe you can try learning a new skill to earn extra income. Why not join a community group to make new friends and feel less lonely?" But no matter what advice you give, they always have a reason why it won't work. They might say, "I'm too old for that," or "It's easy for you to say, but my situation is different." Over time, you realize that they don't actually want solutions. They just want someone to listen and feel sorry for them. How to handle a perpetual victim: 1. Recognize the pattern. If someone repeatedly complains but never takes action, it's a sign they are stuck in a victim mindset. 2. Stop offering solutions. Instead of giving advice they won't follow, respond with neutral comments like, "That sounds tough. What are you planning to do about it?" 3. Set boundaries. If their negativity drains your energy, limit your interactions. You are not obligated to listen to endless complaints. 4. Encourage self-responsibility. If they truly want to improve their life, they need to take the first step themselves. At some point, you must accept that you can't help someone who refuses to help themselves. 6. The ungrateful takes your help for granted. There are few things more disheartening than offering your kindness, time, or resources to someone, only to receive no gratitude in return. Some people expect help as if it's their right, treating your generosity as an obligation rather than a gift. They take without acknowledging the effort or sacrifice behind your support. And the worst part is they keep coming back for more. At first, it might seem like they're just forgetful or bad at expressing gratitude. But over time, you start to notice a pattern. They never say thank you. They never return favors, and they never acknowledge your help unless it benefits them. In some cases, they might even act offended when you refuse to help them again. Example: imagine a friend who frequently borrows money from you. The first few times, you don't think much of it, you want to be supportive, and you assume they'll appreciate your help. But over time, you realize that every time they borrow, they never express gratitude. Worse, when you remind them about repaying the loan, they act irritated, defensive, or even accuse you of being selfish for bringing it up. Perhaps they say things like, "Why are you making such a big deal out of this? I thought we were close. You shouldn't even be asking for the money back. You're better off than me anyway. Why does this matter to you?" Instead of acknowledging that you did them a favor, they make you feel guilty for expecting basic respect. This is a classic sign of an ungrateful person. How to handle them? If someone consistently fails to appreciate your help, the best thing you can do is stop helping them altogether. Gratitude is not just about politeness. It's a sign of respect, humility, and human decency. If someone refuses to acknowledge your kindness, they do not deserve it. Here's how you can handle ungrateful people. 1. Set boundaries. Make it clear that you will no longer provide help if they cannot show appreciation. 2. Stop offering unconditional support. If they expect help but never give back, it's time to walk away. 3. Protect your energy. You don't owe anyone endless favors, especially those who don't appreciate them. Remember, helping others is a choice, not an obligation. And no one deserves your kindness more than those who respect and appreciate it. 7. The gossip spreader uses your help but talks badly about you. There are people who will approach you when they need help, pretending to be close to you. But once they receive the help, they turn around and talk badly about you behind your back. These individuals often use your kindness as a tool to achieve their own goals, yet fail to appreciate or value the support you have provided. Example: a neighbor frequently asks you for favors, from borrowing things to helping solve personal problems. You are willing to help because you think it's a kind gesture, seeing them as a friend or at least a friendly acquaintance. However, after you've helped, you find out that they have been gossiping about you to others, criticizing your behavior, your attitude, or the things you've done. Meanwhile, when they need help again, they don't hesitate to ask you. These individuals often take advantage of your generosity and kindness to get what they need. But once they no longer need it, they won't hesitate to belittle you, to elevate themselves. Signs to recognize them: they appear very friendly and ask for favors when they're in need. However, after you help, they never genuinely thank you. Behind your back, they might say negative things about you, tarnish your reputation, or make baseless negative judgments. They never acknowledge your help, but always find ways to diminish what you've done for them. How to handle them? For people like this, the best approach is to keep your distance and limit contact. You don't necessarily need to sever the relationship completely, but it's important to realize that you shouldn't continue to invest time and energy into those who disrespect you and don't appreciate you. Set clear boundaries about what you are willing to help with and ensure you are not being taken advantage of. If they ask for help again, you can politely decline and make it clear that you are unwilling to continue supporting them if they do not appreciate you. Don't let your kindness become something others can exploit. Mutual respect must be the foundation of any relationship, and you deserve to be treated with the same respect in return. 8. The lazy one expects others to do everything for them. Some people tend to avoid responsibility and become lazy when facing challenges in life. Instead of trying to overcome difficulties themselves or seeking opportunities to improve their situation, they rely on others to do everything for them. This not only creates a burden for others, but also causes them to lose the ability to be independent and grow. One of the clearest signs of lazy individuals is that they never take the initiative in their work or personal life. They always look for ways to avoid responsibility and expect others to take care of everything for them. Whenever they encounter difficulties or challenges, instead of figuring out how to solve them on their own, they turn to those around them and ask for help without ever intending to change their habits. Example: a younger family member, such as a niece, nephew, or child, refuses to get a job or lacks the motivation to find stable employment. Every time they face financial difficulties, they turn to you to ask for money without any plans to improve their situation. They might give excuses like, "The job market is really tough right now. I haven't found a suitable job yet." But in reality, they're not trying hard to search for opportunities or invest in personal growth. How to handle them? When dealing with such people, it's important to set clear boundaries and encourage them to be independent. Helping others is a good thing, but help should be seen as a temporary boost, not a long-term solution to their problems. You can say something like, "I believe you can do it. Try to look for opportunities and become independent." This not only offers encouragement, but also conveys the message that independence and effort are key factors in achieving success. Remember, helping doesn't mean doing everything for someone. If you continue to solve all their problems for them, you're inadvertently supporting laziness and preventing them from growing. They need to learn how to stand on their own feet and understand that no one can do everything for them throughout their life. Creating a positive change in their life might not be easy, but encouraging self-reliance will help them become more responsible and mature in the future. 9. The toxic person drains your energy and happiness. In life, one of the most important things is to maintain good mental health and happiness. However, not everyone in your life contributes to that. Happiness rejectors, or toxic people, are individuals who can make you feel exhausted and constantly stressed. They not only fail to bring positive value, but also make you feel drained, anxious, and even depressed. Signs of a toxic person. These people consistently create a negative atmosphere around them. They may be individuals who constantly complain about everything in life without ever offering solutions. Or they might be ones who like to stir up arguments, making every situation tense. They often criticize or point out flaws in everything, whether it's your work, relationships, or even you personally. They only talk about problems and difficulties, never looking for ways to overcome or improve those situations. Example: a longtime friend who always finds fault, criticizing whatever you do, even when it's a well-intentioned effort on your part. They never offer praise or encouragement. Every conversation with them ends with negative remarks like, "This can't be done," or "That's a bad idea." When you share your joy or success, they often make critical remarks or diminish the value of your achievements. How to handle them? When you notice that someone in your life is becoming a source of stress and anxiety, it's important to protect yourself and your mental health. You don't have to keep unhealthy relationships out of a sense of responsibility or emotional attachment. Cutting ties or limiting contact with toxic individuals is one of the wisest decisions you can make for yourself. Don't be afraid to decline continuing negative conversations or ask them to change their behavior if you must interact. If they still refuse to change and continue bringing negative energy, consider ending that relationship completely. Protecting yourself is a necessary step to maintaining peace and happiness in your life. In the end, remember that you deserve positive relationships, people who support you and help you become the best version of yourself. No one can bring peace to your life if they are constantly bringing negative emotions. Final thoughts. Protect your peace in old age. Your later years should be about peace, joy, and fulfillment, not about being drained by people who don't appreciate you. Saying no is not selfish. It is self-care. Surround yourself with people who appreciate you. True relationships are mutual. You have spent your life helping others. Now, it's time to prioritize yourself. The best gift you can give yourself in old age is peace, happiness, and meaningful relationships.